This is a handout 1HO, which stands for handout number 1A. This is probably the most important handout in terms of understanding exactly what action research is about and all the key pieces. Basically, there are 5 parts to doing an action research project for CI590. This handout describes each part. You will do the first 3 parts in CI590, and you'll do the second 2 parts in CI591. And basically, you are going to identify a problem that you want to study first in a problem statement. And then you're going to look at what others have learned about this problem in the research literature. And this should help you identify and work with that problem and know more about it. And then the third thing you're going to do is you're going to do some methods, take some action to address this problem. And all of this is going to be designing and developing a proposal in CI590. Not writing, not gathering data yet. You are just going to design a project this term. So the first part, the problem statement, is where you get a focus area. And some students, problem identification is a challenge in itself. So this is going to take some thought and some writing and some reflection. So the reflective prompts are designed to help I give you are also helpful in trying to help you find a focus area. I think about something that you're curious about, something that has bugged you in your classroom. Now, if you don't have a classroom, if you are a substitute teacher, or if you are a parent at home right now and without a classroom, and you have one next year or something like that, then you should email me and we can figure out how you can do a project. Don't worry, on all the years, I don't know, almost 18 years I've been teaching action research, we have always found something to investigate in action research, no matter what the situation is for the teacher. Therefore, the problem statement and the problem identification, I do ask you turn in that assignment. The assignment number 1, the problem statement, at the end of the first week. You may say, oh my gosh, that's too soon, I'm not ready. Well, the part of the thing is we only have 10 weeks to write this proposal, which is a lot, not too much, and we need to get you focused early on as possible. So do some heavy lifting this first week and heavy thinking about what's important to you and identify that problem this first week, and you can then be able to work with it. You can change it. Some students have modified it and changed it. They go to the research literature and they go, oh, there's another part of this I'd like to study. I'm interested in reading comprehension. Oh, maybe I'm interested in boys' reading comprehension. Or I'm interested in socialization in the classroom and students not being motivated. Oh, I'm really interested in their not being motivated about math in particular. So you begin to specify and clarify the problem. The second part of this term, the second paper you will turn in, has to do with the research literature. I will be giving you some screencasts on how to use the research literature, but remember that, and how to use the library. And you can also call the librarians, or you can use the chat line in the library. And it's basically what you're trying to figure out is what have others learned about this problem, and how can what they've learned help me design a project that brings some new knowledge to me and maybe even to others on this project. So you're going to be working with Eric, but beyond Eric there's other databases. I'll talk about 3 generations of research. I have a handout on that to help you sort of clarify with all the different kinds of journals there are. So the first part is the problem statement. The second is the research literature. The third is the research methods. And this is your third paper. So you're going to turn in all 3 of these papers by the middle of May, and then they're going to be resubmitted over and over again to get feedback from me, and therefore to get to clarify and to write a better paper and to make it more communicate better. So the third one is the research methods. That's usually easier for teachers because they are teaching and they're designing methods all the time to change their classroom practice and to teach kids. So they're teaching methods. You have data collection methods, And that point you'll have to decide if you're going to use surveys or interviews or focus groups or what kinds of methods you're going to use to gather data to help you address this problem. At the end of CI590, you'll have a plan, a proposal that you will use next year in your classroom, that you will gather the data. This plan should be very specific by the time you get here. So all you have to do is walk out the door and use it. And if things happen during the year, your classroom changes or something else changes, be sure to email me and tell me, and then we can think about a redesign and adjustment in your design. Then from CI590, time passes, you gather data and you begin the analyses. And then in the summer of the next 2 years from now, a year and a half from now, you will then take the class called 591. And then that's when you begin, you have gathered the data and you begin to do some analyses and you display your data in such a way that you communicate it to others. You summarize your data. Nobody wants to read or has time to read all of the data you've collected. So your job is to begin to summarize here in the results section, to analyze it, to add charts, to do a data analysis. The last chapter, chapter 5, during CI 591 is when you say, well, what did I learn? Did I answer my research question? What are the implications of what I learned? How did what I learn influence my daily practice? And how did what I learned help other people? So those are basically the 5 parts of action research. And I'll talk to you later. Thank you.